Gemma Scott, Aussie Wonder, as she's getting ready for a casting in Osaka. And do you know what this casting is for?
This casting is for some type of underwear, I think winter underwear, like long and very ugly.
Okay, and are you how confident are you of your chances of getting this job?
Well, apparently I've been told my agent, the booker here, said that they're looking for more editorial style models, so hopefully that gives me a better foot in the door, because a lot of the girls here are very young and very cute, and so
okay.
Let's go.
And how long does a typical casting take?
It could be something between 30 minutes to maybe sometimes 50 minutes if you have to try, every girl has to try something on, especially if it's like a bridal dress, then you have all this tying in the back, and yeah, that takes quite a while. Or if you have to wait for a casting, we've waited 3 hours one time just for all the other people to go through, and that's quite annoying because sometimes you don't even have a chance at the casting. You walk in and they're just like, thank you, bye. So yeah, hopefully this one will be a quick one because it's kind of late now. And
great. Well, we'll wish you luck, Gemma Scott, and we'll check in with you a bit later.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Right, we're here with Australian wonder and model Gemma Scott, or G-Star to her friends. Okay, let's see what she has to say about the modeling role. So, Miss Scott, you're a model.
Yes, I've been modeling for almost 7 years, I think, internationally, in Australia, but mostly overseas.
Okay, great. And how did you get into the industry?
When I was 14, I entered a competition that the organizer had suggested I enter, and I basically kind of won and found representation from that competition with the agency that I spent 5-6 years with.
Okay, nice. And so far, what's been your best modeling experience?
I would think probably, because I've been to Milan a few times, and the clients that you work with are really cool. Like I was shooting with Jessica Bali, and then working with Pucci in like you fly to like Florence to work for them, or you do shows in near the beach. I was doing for Dolce & Gabbana, like kind of. If I had stayed around Italy, then I probably would have been doing more for them, but doing like trunk shows and presentations, fittings, lookbooks, and that's kind of cool to be working for quite top companies compared to, I guess, when you're in Asia and you're just working for companies of, underwear or sleepwear.
Okay. Now, those outside the industry are always so shocked by the so-called horror stories of the industry. Mm-hmm. So, what's been your worst modeling experience?
Oh, my worst. I'm not exactly sure which one would be the worst, but there is a lot. There's a lot of stress. Half the time when I'm overseas, I can't always be in direct contact with my mother agency to double check everything, because it seems that their local agency always is trying to spin something or get you to agree to something, but maybe there was one time, again, when I was in Europe, I was going to the airport to fly to a job, but it was still in the country, but we were flying, and I had a copy of my passport, not the actual passport, and then it was quite early in the day, so I had to, taxi back to my apartment, get my passport, taxi back. By the time I got back, the flight was closed, and I would have missed the job, but I bought another ticket and got there a few hours later.
So you had to buy another ticket out of pocket?
Yep, and pay for like 3 taxi rides and be yelled at by my booker and the stylist.
And were you reimbursed for any of this? There you go, viewers. Modeling industry.
Yeah, it's all expenses on you basically.
Okay. So the modeling for you, is there something beyond modeling, or is this the career for you?
I don't think so. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing, but I believe it will still be somewhere in the fashion industry because I have 7 years of knowing about how to organize the shooting, what goes on behind the scenes. I'm still very interested in style and fashion, and so I'm thinking something to do with magazine or writing, but there's a lot of fields working for a magazine company like publishing or even media relations or public relations. It's kind of what I'm interested in. So I need to settle down next year and try and get into a university.
Okay, great. Okay, we're back with Gemma Scott, model extraordinaire from Australia. Okay, so I'm gonna say a word, and you're gonna say the first thing that pops into your mind.
All right.
Okay, food.
Oh, yum.
War.
War. Yeah, that would have to be every day. Yeah.
Peace.
Animal. Not animal cruelty. The opposite of animal cruelty.
Okay.
That's how I feel. Like I feel peaceful if animals are happy.
Interesting. Parties.
Hong Kong.
And relationships.
Relationships. I think the first thing I think of is long distance. Unfortunately.
Okay, so we're back with Gemma Scott, model extraordinaire from Australia. We're currently in Osaka, in the country of Japan. Tell me, Gemma, what's it like modeling in Japan?
Oh wow. To me it feels like totally different to everything that I know, because I had to, change myself. I have to act younger, more kawaii, which is, the cute for the local cutes. Clients are just not interested sometimes if you just act the way that you normally do, which is very frustrating because you're like, hey, I'm more professional than this girl who's 14. Why aren't you interested in me? But at the same time, it's very nice. The clients are lovely. They treat you really well. The quality of living is nice, so it's cool to be here, spending time. I don't mind spending, 3 to 4 months here if everything is going well. And, it is a lot different, I can tell you that. It's a lot easier too, somehow. I don't know. Different but easy.
There you go. Japan, land of rising sun, land of rising models. Thank you, G-Star.
Thank you.
Right, we're here with the lovely Serbian models, Adzic. So we're here with model extraordinaire from Serbia.
Silence. I kill you.
Okay. And what has been your best modeling experience?
Well, can't remember the moment, because being in China, I can talk so much about bad experiences that none of good can come up on my mind. But the best one could be making a music video for the Australian band called Muscles. That was really interesting and funny and very, very, how to say, experimental. Even though before I did movies, this was really much more interesting, as maybe I was kind of the main character, so the focus was on me. And I started the video, I'm finishing the video. I did kind of, not the project, but I helped my friend to cast the girls. And so it kind of, I carried the project as well, so I was very proud of it, that it came up very good, very well recognized among people, the audience. And yeah, I can say this one is the best one.
And where did you do that? That was in China?
No, this was in Japan last year, Tokyo.
Okay.
August 2010.
Okay, now we hear many horror stories about the modeling industry. So what has been your worst experience modeling?
Worst experiences were, yes, it's connected with China, mostly, like 80% of my work. And what should I say, where to start, it's really difficult. And to choose one, so let it be recently, for example, that I had to fly 2 hours away from the city that I am based in China for a job, right? And after being so exhausted from the 8-hour shoot, literally without food or anything, just like a really hard working, as it's very, very well known in China. I had to go to the airport, come back to my city, but I had to stay there more than 6 hours with no, like a bench at least where I could sleep, but just like with the street seats, so just sit and wait, which I had to do. And I stayed over the night, came home at 2 a.m. in the morning, just to got the note at my house that I have to be ready for 6 a.m. train for another job in another city, which was also very exhausted. And they require, of course, from 7 a.m. to start the job and be very happy, be very cheerful, to show the best from yourself when I didn't have time to eat, when I didn't have time to sleep. Oh, very bad backache and headache and all body sore, whatever it goes with it. And expected to do the best job ever for this one. And of course I couldn't do it. I did, but it was a disaster, as caused me a lot of health problems. So I came back home in my city the next day from this second job to be also waited for another note for another job in a third city by bus to go next 4 hours. So all over, like for a whole week, there were like events like this from one to another, from one to another. Literally feeling like, how to explain, not even an animal. I think animals sometimes treat better than us, but like slaves maybe, just to work, that people really don't care, are you alive? You just have to show up at the work, which is really very exhausting, and no rights to say anything about it, to complain, which is very hurtful. And even though we would do such a thing, there are like some, not penalties, but like we could be granted, for example, and which is the meaning of money, to not to get our very hard-earned money, as of disrespect of the client, of not doing the proper job, or being late, which is very usual to happen, not by our fault. A lot of misunderstandings. First of all, living in China, nobody speaks English. And then even if you have somebody who speaks English, there is a miscommunication. What do you want? What do they want? Always just so they can get the better part of the situation and make you the worst of it. Yeah, this was quite a long and not exactly about the event that happened, but this is the everyday happening here in the last 2 months, so I cannot exactly choose one event, the worst job, but it's pretty much the whole contract in China.
So when you have these kind of experiences, does it make you think again? Is it worth it, the whole modeling?
Well, in the end, when the situation like this comes about talking about it, it's very funny to talk what I have survived, or what people like us, like models, are surviving, that probably many people are not experiencing or will not experience. But this makes me stronger. Honestly, makes us stronger. Of course, we have the motivation, which is money. Otherwise, you have a choice to not to do it and just go home and do nothing, or do something else, be less satisfied or be more satisfied. I chose modeling because it satisfies me. I like it. I can do it very well. Of course, it has hard moments, as every office job has hard time. But the satisfaction I get is, yes, money, my earnings, my own money that I earned. And even though I work every day, I get paid for every single job, not per month. So yes, this is my satisfaction that after this hard 2-3 months, I can go for 1 year vacation and enjoy, which I couldn't be able to do if I stay in the office and work for a year to have 2 months vacation.
Okay. So I'm going to say a word, and you say the first thing that comes into your head.
Okay.
Okay. Food.
Pasta.
War.
War. Home.
Peace.
Hometown.
Money.
Traveling.
Relationship.
Relationships. Boyfriend.
We're here with the lovely We're here with the lovely and talented Kiri Hartig.
Hello.
Model here in Hong Kong. So Kiri, you're a model.
I am a model, yes.
And what does a model do?
A model, that's a funny question. A model is somebody who dresses up, puts on a show, or poses, or, pretty much, you're used for advertising, and you're used for the catwalks, you're used for, pretty much a slave to the media.
And how did you get into the industry?
I actually, when I was 12, my mom sent me to like a modeling competition, and Ford New York wanted to sign me. So I did a lot of test shoots and everything, and I was really excited about it. And then Ford, they wanted to send me to Paris when I was 12, and I was really kind of like, what? And my mom asked me if I wanted to go, and I said, no, I want to stay at school with my friends, and blah, blah, blah. Which I'm really glad that I did, actually. But yeah, that's how I got started. And then I took a break, I finished school. I had braces. And then I got back into it when I was 20, because the scout who found me when I was 12, I bumped into him, I think when I was in Chicago, and he had his own agency, and he asked me to join, and I was like, yeah, sure. So I dropped out of college and became a model, and I've been modeling for the past 5 years.
Nice. And is there something beyond modeling, or is this the career for you?
Well, I've been doing it for 5 years, and I'm 25 now, so that's like ridiculously old for a model. But I mean, I'm doing very well at it. I don't really want to stop quite yet, but I'm slowly moving into being a TV presenter, a TV host. So that's what I ultimately want to do. I've wanted to do that since I was like 13. I was at my school, and every morning they had the morning announcements, and I remember watching the morning announcement girls like, oh my god, I want to do that so much, but I was like so shy. And then I just did it, and I thought it was so much fun, and ever since then, that's what I've really wanted to do. Yeah, be on TV.
Okay, and what's been your best modeling experience?
My best modeling experience. If it has to be like, well, I mean, I think the best thing about modeling is being able to travel wherever you want, pretty much at the drop of a hat. But I think my best like one experience was a photo shoot that I did in Thailand. We took a boat to like an island that was pretty much deserted, and we did a photo shoot for swimwear and underwear for like 3 days. And then we stayed in like a bungalow. We each had like our own private bungalow, and the shower was outside, and like at night you got to see all of the stars like when you were taking a shower, and we're swimming in the ocean, and like it was just really kind of like intimate and not stressful, and it was an awesome job. I got to like hang out by the pool all day, shoot in underwear, and chill on the beach at night, and we had like a huge Thai style buffet that they would go catch the fish in the day, and then they would bring it back and cook it for us, and I was there for 3 days, and I loved it. It was beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, in the modeling industry, we hear a lot of horror stories. What has been your worst modeling experience?
Oh, there's a few of those. There's a few of those, actually. Most of them happen in China, actually. I hate to say, but they do. I told my agency here never to send me to China again because every time I go there, something happens. The most recent thing that happened in China, I went for a fashion show. And I was there with one other girl from my agency. We took the train from Hong Kong to Guangzhou, and we got there, we did the fashion show, and it was fine, but it went overtime. And first of all, you don't get paid overtime for a fashion show. And so it finished around 9 or 10, and I went to the client to get my money to take back to my agency, and the client gave us the money, and then I said, oh, and do you have our train tickets back to Hong Kong? And the client just looked at me like, and I was like, okay, does anybody speak English here that can like help me figure this out? So we finally found one guy who could speak English, and he was running around with us asking all the people, where's our train ticket, where's our train ticket? And it turned out that nobody had bought us a train ticket back home. So I was like, okay, let's just go to the train station. We have our money from the client and we'll buy the train ticket there. So we went to the train station and the train station was closed. And first of all, it was like so hard to get a taxi because I don't know why, like people wouldn't let us get in their taxi for some reason, I'm not sure. And on the way in the taxi to the train station, we saw a guy get hit by a bus on his bicycle. And the bus hit him, he went underneath the bus, and then the taxi hit him, and there was like blood everywhere. And I was like shocked, and it was just really weird. And so we finally made it to the train station after all of that, and it was closed. So we were walking around like, what are we gonna do? So we were like, okay, well, let's just, get a hotel for the night and come back in the morning. So we were walking around to the hotels and nobody wanted us to stay in their hotel. It was weird. We went to the first hotel and we were like, do you have a room? And he's like, no, sorry, we don't have any electricity. And I was like, that's weird because like we're in the hotel and it seems to have electricity, but whatever. So we tried the next one. And the next one, and then we tried to make the client pay for the hotel, but she refused to pay for the hotel because it was too expensive. Which I think in US dollars, it was probably about like $40 a night, US, and they said it was too expensive. So in the end, I mean, the girl I was with was like 18, 19, and she was crying because she was freaking out. And I was trying to figure out what to do, and so we finally just went to the next hotel that we found, and I was like, look, I'm just gonna pay with the cash that I have. We're gonna go back tomorrow, we're gonna buy our own train ticket, and the agency will pay for everything when I talk to them. So that's what we did. And I did get reimbursed by my agency, but I mean, that was a pretty horrible experience, I think.
And where in China was this?
This was Guangzhou. Yeah. I told them I'm never going back to Guangzhou again. Yeah.
Okay. So now we're going to move on to the lightning round. So I'm going to say a word and you say the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
Okay. Food.
Mexican.
War.
War? I don't know. Germans? maybe can I say something?
Okay, war.
No, it's still Germans, I hate to say.
Okay, peace.
Peace. The beach.
Money.
Money. Green.
Relationships.
Complicated.
Parties.
Awesome.
The future.
Bright.
So we're currently in Hong Kong right now.
Yes.
What's it like modeling in Hong Kong as opposed to everywhere else?
Well, for me, I think it's different for everybody. But for me, I've been here on and off for like 4 years, so obviously I like it. But it's a bit corny. It's a bit cheesy. Like the money is really good for the amount of work that you have to do. But I mean, the jobs are really cheesy, like happy, sweet, and Asian, like. And I mean, no one really likes doing those jobs because you can't really use the pictures or anything. But I like it because I love the city, and the money is easy, and the money is good. I feel very comfortable here, and yeah, all my friends are here. It's like, that's why they call it Hong Kong. It's like my home away from home.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, and final question for you. Tell us something that people would be surprised to know about Kiri and Hartig.
Surprised to know about me. I'm actually very shy when I meet people for the first time. If I meet somebody for the first time, I usually turn bright red. I don't know why, but I do, yeah.
There you go.
I'm
She's a
very
blusher.
shy. I'm a
ladies and gentlemen.
blusher.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Miss Hartig, and good luck in the future.
Thank you.